Okay, so I'm gonna keep trying this. Nope. Where's my? There it is. There we go. Just had to find my face. So the idea of a stable coin is not a new thing. It's actually starting back in about 2015. I can get more details, specific dates and things, but Tether coin came out, and with a revolutionary idea of putting some money in a bank account and then using that to verify that there was, money to back a coin that had value, basically, so that when Bitcoin started to dip, they were able to move into this other coin that stayed with the value of the dollar. That saved probably, I don't know. I'm sure that there's some people that that played that right and were able to capitalize on a lot of different volatility points on the market. So when Bitcoin took a dive, like all the way down to say $3,000 from 20, after 2017, early 2018, people were able to keep their money in the U.S. dollar via Tether. So the idea of a stable coin became very popular. But the problem is that they never actually verified that the money was there. I mean, they had a quote-unquote audit page printed a couple of times by a third party. It's like, oh yeah, see, this third party went and looked at the account we told them to look at, or the accounts we told them to look at, and was able to verify that this much money was in the account. Well, we could do that. We could do that right now. We could say, oh, well, there's this account, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so having a validated asset is definitely a stronger position, in my opinion, to actually get the support of the market. It really is all about marketing. So no matter what you have, if you have a coin, let's say it has certain value because you've presented that it has value in that it does some utility, right? Say, like for instance, let me give you an example of Populus. Populus is a token that operates as software, so that one person can take the balance of an outstanding invoice and sell that to lenders directly, and you have a competing market to lend that person money through the cryptocurrency called Populus. So you have a utility token that has a value because that market can use that utility token and actually, do commerce. Buying and selling, borrowing and lending. It's a business model. So that's one banking instrument, for example, that's being taken over by cryptocurrencies or by these tokens. And they're called smart contracts. It's just another word for a little piece of software that you can put on the internet that does something simple. That technology rides on the blockchain, which is immutable. So once it's done, the immutability of the blockchain make it valuable because you can't be censored. They can't take it away from you. So you have things like social networks like Steemit, which has been around for quite a while, and it has its own token. People can reward the content creators that they most appreciate by giving them tokens. And then as a content creator, you actually accumulate tokens by the attention that you get. And that goes to another token called Basic Attention Token. Basic Attention Token is a web browser associated token, or coin, essentially, that you're paid in if you create content. And it's consumed via the Brave browser. So they have their own browser, and it's got that token linked to it. So as you interact with that browser, if you consume commerce, commercials and whatever, advertising, then you can actually get some Brave tokens or some Basic Attention tokens for doing that, right? So it's an exchange of value for your time and your attention. So those things have utility. Now, the way that they came about was someone had to convince the world that they had value. and use whatever spin or whatever ideas that they had to get that attention and get that interest, and the desire for people to want to be involved, etc. And because of that, it had value on the open market. So the value on the open market is a key, right? Obviously. So it all comes down to marketing anyway, and that is really where the money needs to be spent. We could do it as simple as a basic ERC20 token backed by some security measures. And so that's not that much coding. Like I can create an ERC20 token today. With that number of tokens, we can make the assignment, we can write out the white paper, we can do the websites and get the advertising and get the campaign, and then start doing some representation on site, like where they're doing cryptocurrency conventions and whatnot. That's where you go. Just like if you were selling a book or a movie, you go to the festival. It's that simple. Don't ask. It's green liquid, so I drink a lot of green liquid. All that being said, it comes down to one or two simple points, and these are the things that I find very interesting. You have a tangible asset that has a known valuable. So it is quote unquote fungible, which is oil. And it's something that's used all over the planet currently in whatever form. Whether it's petroleum or gasoline, diesel, we know oil, everybody knows oil, interacts with oil, everybody knows it. So it is an asset that has a known value. It's fungible. That being said, we can actually associate it to the dollar. So we can follow the price of oil with the volume of oil that we have, and the value of the token can go up against the US dollar by the value of the tokens that we create in the first place, right? So let's say we have $100 billion worth of oil. That's easy number of tokens to create. It's a 1 with a bunch of zeros. So if there's that much, then we calculate by the dollar the volume at the current, like when the token is minted. We price it right then. And so each token has, at that point, the dollar value associated with that original price point for oil, which I think at this time it's actually pretty good. But it has the potential to increase in price as we go along. Right, so that increase in price with the oil increases the value of the token because it's minted at the moment that oil had that market value. So from there, then we go into the open market with the stabilized price point. Now, there's some other some details about stabilizing the price point that can also be fairly expensive if you look at it that way. The expense of that would be in having what's called liquidity in the market. So you have to have liquidity in the market, which means if somebody goes on to buy $2 million worth of this coin, you have it there at the current price instead of them jacking the price way up, because the sells, the sell bids are, working their way up without much volume. Okay. So you need to have that liquidity in a variety of different places. And at the price that you're willing to sell it for, you have it available directly at the website. So you'll buy it or sell it at the value on the website, and you make that utility very easy. So it can be, there's a thing called the MetaMask wallet, which you may or may not be familiar with. But it's a piece of software that allows you to interact with the internet and the blockchain together, right? So you need that. That's the interface. In computer language, we call it the user interface, or a client, which is just a piece of software that interacts with the computer to do something, right? It's an app. So we're going to develop a couple of apps of our own. One of them can be an exchange where we're willing to take all these other tokens and we use our stable coin, the oil-backed stable coin, as the US dollar or the token exchange, right? So they can come in with their Ethereum or whatever other token they want and just trade it right there on their wallet, and it'll go to their wallet on their Ethereum wallet if it's an ERC20 token. But I'm also thinking about going on 2 other blockchains, so having a total of 3 at least, to have that interoperability. Interoperability or cross-chain compatibility is really important. Let me explain what those are. So interoperability definition would be can work with this one or can work with that one. Cross-platform is where it will work with Ethereum or Cardano or other blockchains that actually have the ability to do tokens, like ERC20 token kind of technology. And we can have a variety of those. So we can have the same value, token swap for token, and we can have a portion of the asset backing Cardano one, a portion of the asset backing the Ethereum one, and a portion of the asset backing whatever other one that we choose to work with. Then there's quite a few, and there's a good reason Binance Chain would probably be a really good place to do it. It may or may not be, I don't know, it might be more difficult, but we'll see. But their exchange is very hot right now, and if we take a new asset-backed token to the exchange, it could be quite advantageous if we could actually get it listed on Binance, but we'll see how that goes. So all that being said, there's some details in there that have to be facilitated, and that's where the coding and the coders and the technology, the developers need to be recognized and remunerated for their efforts. Now, a portion of that historically has been they believe in the project, so they will trade some of their work for some of the tokens. Now, this being an asset-backed token, I'm a bit more hesitant to do that in volume, because you don't want to give $10 million to somebody if they've done $10,000 worth of work, right? So we have to figure those things out as well, and that's administrative development, right? So we need people, the right people to put those things in place for the administration, for the marketing, and for the development. So those are the 3 expenses that we have. I think that we can go from there, but I think that that's a really good place to start. In order to start the project, 1, you need a good idea, and you need something that other people can see value in. And I think we have both of those. So we have a pretty good idea, and we have something that we can get other people to agree that there's value in. So I think we're at a good start, and I'm going to end here. Thank you for watching.